important event of the day, two amazing persons that have a lot of experience in their field, and also please introduce yourself because people don't know you, and then we can start the meeting. Please.
Hello everyone, and thank you for the invitation to have a discussion with two such interesting women. I'm Enrico, and running a public affairs company called BNK Agency. It's an agency that is providing public relations, government affairs, consultancies in Brussels and here in Italy. Originally, I'm coming from Ukraine, so with the topic of Israel.
È un paese molto interessante l'Ucraina in questo periodo. Interessante che tu sei proprio da quel paese, grazie.
Yes, it is very relatable, the topic of the cooperation of women who work together from Israel and Palestine. So I'm very happy to have here with me today Dana Lev, the Deputy Director of EcoPeace in Middle East and Israel, managing the education and HR departments, and also teaching environmental policy and democracy aspects at the Open University of Israel, and Muna Abdullah, HR and Executive Officer at EcoPeace Ramallah office, where she contributes to the development of people-centered strategies that align with organization's mission of environmental sustainability and regional cooperation. Our panel discussion is ILF in Motion, a call won by Leader for Israeli and Palestinian Women. So, with the project of, with the organization of EcoPeace Middle East. So, let's...
Solo per tradurre anche in italiano, i nostri ospiti, come avete capito, vengono rispettivamente da Israele e dalla rete palestinese, quindi sono venuti che fanno parte della Fondazione Dalit. Io sono il coordinatore nazionale per l'Italia e abbiamo sempre curato interesse per queste due reti. Per quanto io adoro l'israeliana, devo cercare di avere una mano anche al capofila, che per alcuni periodi è mancato, e vengono da un'organizzazione molto particolare, si chiama EcoPeace, che ha un co-direttore a Tel Aviv, uno a Ramallah palestinese e uno giordano ad Amman, quindi è un'organizzazione che lo spiegheranno molto particolare. Grazie.
So let's start the discussion with getting to know more about your work and about the project that you're bringing here today.
Hello everyone, shalom, salam alaikum. I would like to begin and say that please, if you're taking any pictures for personal security, please don't post it online and on any social media or networks. So my name is Dana Lev, and I'm the Israeli Deputy Director of EcoPeace in our Tel Aviv office.
Hi everyone, Masal Khair, marhaba. My name is Muna Abdullah, and I'm the HR and Executive Officer at the Ramallah office for EcoPeace Middle East. So I will begin to speak about EcoPeace a little bit. So we proudly now representing EcoPeace Middle East, which is a very unique organization that for the past 30 years has been working to advance environmental sustainability and peace building in one of the most politically complex regions in the world, Israel, Jordan, and Palestine. EcoPeace is not just an environmental organization, we are a movement that believes and proves every day that protecting our shared environment can be a powerful tool for building trust, dialogue, and cooperation among communities divided by conflict.
Thank you. EcoPeace is the regional organization. We exist for 30 years already, and we work together in a hierarchic and not bureaucratic and not, very simultaneously, I would say. We have 3 offices, as Muna just said. We have 3 directors, and we have 1 board, which means that there's no one director to this organization. The Israeli, Palestinian, and Jordanian directors have to work together all the time on a daily basis. This is very interesting and very challenging at the same time. We focus on transboundary water, so all the water basins crossing between Israel, Jordan, and Palestine. How we preserve them, how we rehabilitate them. There's a lot of pollution between our waters, and as you know, the Middle East, at least in our region, suffers from very, very heavy water scarcity. Climate change has been affecting us heavily. Our desert is growing, we're lack of water, our water is becoming saltier, and we need to find a solution for the next generations to be able to survive and to be sustainable in the region. We work with policymakers, we work with youth, with teachers, with students, with decision makers, both in the Palestinian government, Jordanian government, and Israeli. We're supported by the UN, by the EU, and we've been nominated last year for the Nobel Peace Prize. We didn't win in the end, though. Unfortunately. I'll say that among our most interesting achievements or work that we've been doing are, first of all, the reviving of the lower part of the Jordan River. Both Israeli government and Jordanian government have put a lot of money in the past year and a half in order to rehabilitate this region, hoping that in the end it will affect the Palestinian side of the Jordan River, that they all also get to. It is very, very polluted. As you know, the Jordan River is a sacred water basin in the heritage of a lot of religions. But if only one government will make the effort of reviving this ecosystem, it won't help. So we managed to convince both, and we're working heavily on it. These days, even we can go and see there's all the tractors working to revive and help the Jordan River to, I don't think it will be able to go back to what it was, but at least. Another main project that we do is advocating for the water energy exchange. We have a nexus signed by King Abdallah, John Kerry, and former Israeli President Naftali Bennett and Karim Elal, the energy minister. It was signed in the COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, in which they agreed on exchanging energy. So Jordan will build a huge solar panel field and will sell energy to Israel, while Israel is building a big desalination plant where we clean the water of the Mediterranean and will sell them for very low price to Jordanians so they'll have more water. Both governments have been...
Allora, avete capito che sta parlando prima Mona e Pedana della loro azienda. Abbiamo presentato queste belle foto dove si vede l'interesse appunto per l'ambiente che, come diceva Dana, trascende i confini nazionali, quindi trova alleanze che vanno oltre i paesi anche che sono in conflitto. E ha fatto diversi esempi che non vi sto a ripetere, ma soprattutto ha parlato della COP27 e dello scambio molto interessante, perché si tratta di 200 milioni di metri cubi di acqua attraverso il desalinizzatore israeliano, quindi che prende l'acqua salata e la trasforma in acqua dolce in cambio dell'energia dei pannelli solari della Giordania.
Thank you. I was said that we have an education department, both in Israel, Jordan, and Palestine. We ran workshops and courses for university students, for teachers, and for youth. Everything we do is around transboundary water and how to handle a shared ecosystem. So the content of our work is very much biological, marine biology, and a bit less geopolitical, even though the ideology behind it is obviously very geopolitical.
Okay, so I'm very happy to introduce our big project. So we are involved now in the discussion of IMEC, the India Middle East Eastern Europe Economic Corridor, making sure that sustainability, environmental resilience, and water security are central components of this emerging regional vision. We believe that integrating climate and environmental consideration into infrastructure development is not a luxury, but a necessity for lasting peace and prosperity. Our work is not easy. we totally understand that among all of these challenges we are facing, whether it's political challenges or any other challenges, but we understand that it demands persistence, it demands resilience, it demands staying hopeful. Standing here today, to be honest, among colleagues from all over the world and with my gorgeous colleague Dana next to me, reminds me that hope is contagious and that collective action knows no borders, and that we are all human, we share the same values, we share the same environment as well, and this is our duty to preserve our natural resources, but mainly the human life.
Molto commoventi le parole di Muna, grazie, emozionanti dal cuore, perché ha detto che, ripetendo quello che dicevo prima, che i valori che loro difendono vanno oltre le frontiere, però ha anche evidenziato il lato umano, il lato personale, e questo è quello che ha permesso questo evento di oggi, che sembra così anomalo, perché controllate qui da qualsiasi parte, da nessuna parte ci sono palestinesi israeliani, a Roma o anche in altre città che collaborano insieme nonostante quello che sapete.
Thank you so much for such a beautiful presentation, and actually, Mona, your last statement pretty much closed many of my questions that I was coming here today with. But one question I would like to ask your opinion, which is very also dear to me and from where I'm coming from, is when the war comes and people are forced to move around, to change their place of living, to people who are in their lives are changing place of living. And Dana, you said that your research is very much based on the sense of place and sense of belonging to the community. How do people in your communities that you work with maintain that sense of home, sense of community, sense of their belonging?
Thank you. So my PhD is about what we call sense of place. How a person is connected to the place where he's staying. Sense of place is the different components, but it mainly is talking about our identity as part of the place, our dependence in the place. For example, if part of my identity is attending a synagogue every week, do I have a synagogue in the place where I live? If I really love skiing, do I live in a place that has snow that I can fulfill who I am in my hobby, right? So identity, how much my tradition and the education that I got can be shown freely where I live. So different components that connect me to the place where I am affect my identity. I think one of the challenges in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is that we're the same. It's like putting two alpha females together in a room. We are exactly the same, and that's why it's so hard. Both of our nations have been educating themselves for generations that this is our land. Our land is whose? It's Palestinians, it's Jewish people, the same land, the same boundaries. And it doesn't matter if the Jewish community in Italy has been in Italy for, I don't know, maybe 200 years, still the education that they will get is when we pray, we look towards Zion, we look towards Jerusalem because Jerusalem is ours. But if we go to a mosque in Rome, it will be exactly the same. So our identity on a cultural level, on a belief and regional level, is very much connected to the soil, to being agricultures, our songs, our language. And in some very weird way, we're not one nation. I think this is the big challenge. We have the same identity, but we refuse to acknowledge it.
Let me say something in English and then I'll translate. because actually it's very beautiful what Dana said about the main issue of our work for decades. All our projects include the word identity, and actually we are going to have an identity lunch now all together. You are all invited, the floor up, in occasion of the other event with them, Identity and Fashion, and Simona is already ready. But originally, you are witness that this was not the plan. The plan was at the beginning that they would cook. There would be the competition among other Egyptian, Jordanian, Israeli, Palestinian, and Italian Miss Chefs to cook together. Eventually we had to postpone it, but we said, I want you to come anyway, so thank you that you came. Allora, voglio dire in italiano che ho ringraziato Dana perché ha toccato il tema centrale del nostro lavoro da decenni come prospettive mediterranee, che ho costituito a Gerusalemme nel 2000, dove ho vissuto 10 anni, ma anche della nostra rete italiana per il dialogo mediterraneo, se leggete lo statuto. Tutti i nostri progetti includono la parola identità, intesa nel senso dei mammiferi placentali, cioè entità collettive, come Gregory Bateson verso un'ecologia della mente. Proprio perché io know Gregory Bateson towards an ecology of mind. I suggest you to read it, it's amazing. It's an anthropologist, ecologist, and ethologist, so he studies also the behavior of the mammals. Quindi diciamo il tema dell'identità è centrale, l'avete visto sotto diverse prospettive, e ho voluto raccontare che il piano non era questo, il piano era invitarle a cucinare oggi, perché nel piano originario dovevamo fare una competizione con le loro colleghe delle reti dell'Andalinti, giordane e egiziane, quindi palestinesi e israeliane, e noi donne italiane. Diciamo c'erano alcune chef, cuoche che potevano collaborare, però per una serie di motivi l'abbiamo rinviato, ma io ho pensato di invitarle ugualmente, c'è Maria che è testimone tutto croce e delizia. Grazie. È brava loro anche che hanno accettato. Thank you that you accepted to come anyway, because you were really disappointed. You wanted to cook, I know, but next time, we'll do it in September. Grazie.
Another topic that we have also discussed earlier today with the other panelists touch base. Do you think that women respond to conflict differently? And how do you think women can contribute to the conflict resolution, be it Israel-Palestine, Ukraine-Russia, or any other place around the world that is going through the times of turmoil and pain?
I don't think we respond to. You want to translate?
No,
okay.
Not just a joke. How to destroy the conference.
I don't think we see the conflict. We view the conflict in the exact way. We just don't have the bridges in order for us to speak to each other and to understand one another. We really all are in the same spot, the same place where we all want a decent human life. I don't think that anybody would chant for war anywhere in the world, because war only creates losses among everybody. It does not create a win-win situation anywhere. Now, that I would say that out loud. I'm sorry to the men in the room, but if women did the war, there would be no wars. No, I'm just kidding. But women, by preserving the culture and by preserving the identity, like for example, if I want to talk about what I know about my identity, what I know about myself, it's not something I was taught. It's not something that somebody told me. It's something that my great-grandmothers had, and they preserved. They preserved with time. So I know exactly how to be resilient in a place where nothing grows, because I understand all the wild plants inside the land, and I know how to treat them, I know how to eat them. I know that sage is good for my tummy ache. I know that za'atar, thyme, is good for my cough. And now they make cough syrups. So women, my grandmothers, everybody taught us this by nature. She never told it out, said it out loud. We just do it because it exists. So basically, since our grandmothers know that by nature, we know how to stay alive in a conflict area. We know how to survive with minimum resources. Chanting to my people in Gaza right now who are going through starvation, and still they know how to stay alive due to the limited resources they are creating, and I'm thanking our mothers and our grandmothers who taught us how to do that.
Muna che ha parlato molto delicatamente del conflitto, della sofferenza di Gaza, ma anche del ruolo delle donne, e senza togliere agli uomini, ha detto le donne portano sulla loro pelle una sofferenza e anche un ruolo possibile per il dialogo, come vedete. Grazie Muna.
Since Muna tackled this from a cultural and heritage and community point of view, I'll try to respond from another point of view, although I obviously agree with Muna. And if we look at EcoPeace that exists for 30 years, as I already mentioned, Gideon Bomberg, the Israeli director, is the founder of this organization. I cannot even start to explain how hard it is to work together during war. I had to run to the bomb shelter with my two daughters on October 7 at 6:30 in the morning. And I've been sleeping for 3 months with a knife under my pillow. Because my partner wasn't at home and I was scared for their life and my life. But then every day I enter a Zoom call and I sit and talk to my Palestinian colleagues. The thoughts, the feelings, whatever I felt, they felt the same. I think one of the reasons that we managed we're one of the only organizations that not only survived this year and a half, but also we keep working and we keep thriving. We see other organizations that went to court with employees, the directors stopped communicating with each other. And one of the reasons, and this is with a lot of respect to Gideon, is that our two other directors are women. In the end, we have our Palestinian director, Nada Bajdanani, and our Jordanian director, Yana Abu-Talib, and the work of this triangle of a lawyer with two women, I think this is a huge success to our organization. And also that specifically during this time it happened, and also the head of our board is a woman, which is the first time in many years that it happens. Women bring different kind of logic to the table. Women bring emotion to the table. And women bring not only the economical aspect and political vision. Women see generations. They see community and they see behind the lines. And I could not agree more with Muna, seeing how bad we're doing now in the world, thanks to a lot of reasons, but also a patriarchal leadership, and I believe that if we'll manage to change it, a lot of things will change.
Just to add that in Italia, che ha di nuovo sottolineato l'elemento femminile, che arrivano bombardamenti, missili, la famiglia in pericolo, la tensione, eppure dopo cominciavano i contatti con la collega palestinese e si sentivano comunque felici di poter continuare a lavorare anche in queste condizioni terribili. E Dana ha iniziato, ha detto, con tutto il rispetto per Gideon, che è il direttore israeliano, non è un caso che 2 dei 3 direttori sono donne, forse significa qualcosa. Tra l'altro volevo dire una cosa in omaggio a Zohar che ha parlato prima, perché lui è nato in Italia e poi è andato in Israele, infatti Luciano Zohar, e ha parlato di un elemento importante che riguarda quello che diceva Dana, cioè il fatto dell'identità che si incrocia. Io ho detto l'identità si trasforma in qualche modo e si riscopre. Molto interessante quello che ha detto prima il nostro direttore dell'atelier.
It's true because, you know, especially such turbulent times like now, it's very easy to dehumanize each other and to be angry at each other and perceive each other through the political lens rather than the human lens. And I'm impressed that EcoPeace is managing to work across 3 different countries with 3 different cultures and backgrounds and that are existing together, but at the same time in probably the most challenging of the ways. So, to conclude, my last question is to both of you. From your work at EcoPeace, what lessons can you give to us how to build a culture of cooperation that is beyond political background or economic background or more of the societal dogmas? So, share with us, please.
Basically, the first thing is to admit the other's pain. If you can acknowledge that the certain person in front of you is feeling the pain, and we are not talking about the amount of pain right now, because pain cannot be measured. Each person could be subjected to different kinds of pain and respond to it in different ways. It could be minor pain that causes him a lot of traumas, and it could be major pain, and they could be still resilient towards it, and they can take it. So if you can admit that everybody is in pain, that I need to acknowledge that, I need to respect that, and I don't need to compare mine to theirs, and that we are all human eventually, who only want to live peacefully, that you can respond to one another and hear the person in front of you and listen to them and listen to what they have to say. And this is the only way you can build bridges of communication, in order for you to come into a common understanding on how can you both live peacefully together. Because we are here to stay, they are here to stay. Nobody is leaving. So the only way to live together is by finding a common ground.
Queste belle parole di Muna mi sembrano le migliori per accompagnarvi alla conclusione verso il pranzo, perché ha detto un tema molto delicato, quello del dolore, pain, della sofferenza che si prova purtroppo ancora oggi per il conflitto, ma anche il fatto dell'accettazione del dolore dell'altro, perché ha detto Muna, siamo qui per continuare a vivere, noi e voi, rivolgendosi a Dana, e quindi come tali cerchiamo di costruire un ponte per collaborare.
In order to accept the other person, a lot of Palestinians don't accept the existence of Israel, a lot of Israelis don't accept the existence of Palestinians or the rights. In order to be able to accept the other person in front of you, I'm not talking about peace. It's a word that is very heavy these days, and I'm not talking about love, acceptance. We need to get to know each other. And I want to say a bit about how our life looks like. I lived in Israel, I'm in Israel born. I was born in Israel, I lived there almost all my life. I live in a city in the center, really close to Tel Aviv. And the city close to us, next to us, there's like 3 different Arab cities. So Jews and Muslims and Arabs in Israel rarely mix in the same city. There are maybe 3 or 4 cities where you have a combined community, but in general, there's a segregation between the cities. Which means that when I attended school, there were only Jewish pupils in my school. And when I went to the kindergarten, to the playground, there were only Jewish kids around in the playground. This was a few years ago. Nowadays, there's a bit of more mixture between the cities. So if I go to the mall, I will see Muslim women with their kids in the mall. If I go to the playground, there will be Muslim families that next to me in the playground. no communication. And the Muslims or the Arabs living in Israel, it's one thing. My dentist is Arab, my daughter's classroom teacher is an Arab, and you know, we live together, we talk, we greet each other. But me and 99% of Israelis have never in our life met a Palestinian. We've never met someone living 12 kilometers from us. 12 kilometers, that's it. There's a fence. Once there wasn't, but now there's a fence. We've never seen each other, and we've been taught that we cannot communicate. We've been taught to fear each other because the other is hating an animal, wants to kill us. I mean, it doesn't make matter who the other is, right? All our kids doing the same. And when you don't know someone and you've been taught to fear them, it's very easy to hate someone. And so, to respond to your question, what EcoPeace does is to bring Israelis, Palestinians, and Jordanians together in the same room. We bring students together, we bring water engineers together, lawyers together, biology teachers together, and then suddenly the enemy is not so frightening. It's just another biology teacher like I am, it's just another water engineer like I am. And the professional common ground allows them to communicate and see that there's a person behind the fence.
Before Italian, I want to add to your discourse that I wanted very much our daughter, 5 years old, to go to the kindergarten in YMCA with the Jewish and Arab kids. And I'm shocked because in a few months now she speaks Arabic, Hebrew, and English from zero, 5 years old. Quindi ha parlato dell'elemento umano che dà il fatto che noi siamo abituati a vedere il nemico come qualcosa di estraneo, di lontano, e questo peggiora la situazione perché non ci si rende conto dell'umanità dell'altro. Lei invece ha raccontato anche delle città israeliane che adesso cominciano a permettere delle parti comuni, dei quartieri comuni, ma soprattutto EcoPeace fa incontrare la comunità scientifica, quindi i tecnici, gli ingegneri dell'acqua e dell'energia, e che vedono che sono persone come loro. Quindi questo è un elemento molto importante che permette di riconoscere l'altro. È la prima base per cominciare una collaborazione. Grazie.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Mona, for your valuable lessons. And it's really inspiring to see you both together. And I'm assuming, also thank you, dear guests, for bearing with us. I'm assuming that now we are coming to lunch.
Yes, we are. We go to the floor up. Everything is ready since 1:30, but unfortunately, we delayed some of the speeches, but anyway, food is not normal food. It's the food balanced according to the collective memories of your grandmothers before the Second World War. Identity reducing. Ciao.